So the topic of today's sermon is family karma. This is a story that my mom told me a long time ago, and she got it from our teacher, Luang Por Thoon, who wrote it in a book. If you want to find the actual story, you can find it in his book called Wisdom Crafting. Now, once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a family of 5 people. There was a mom, a dad. Now, the father, he really liked to do the farm, like farming. He was really good at being a farmer. The mother really liked to tend to the flowers. She's always in the garden, always hanging out in the garden, doing flowers all the time. The older brother was not so good. He was always getting drunk, always sleeping on the corners, doing a lot of weird, bad stuff. The second brother had a heart that was full of the Dhamma, so he decided to go become a monk. And the youngest sister was pretty, so she was always obsessed about how pretty she was. So she was always down by the little pond, looking at all the lotus flowers and the little flowers, and had a good time. One day, the second brother went to ordain already, so he's not home anymore. So one day, the oldest brother was out as usual, drunk and being a bad person, so he wasn't home. Well, the other 3 people had some food. That night, they all got sick from like a food disease, and they all died. Time passed. Many years passed. And all of a sudden, it was time for karma to bring everyone back together. So, the monk, after many years, he practiced and practiced and practiced, and he became an arahant. So that's awesome. And he came to the house to bintabat. He brought the bowl to the house to look for alms. Alms means like for food. Well, it just so happened that the drunk brother, who was somewhere else, decided to come home that day. He wasn't drunk that day, but he decided to come home. When he got home, he saw his younger brother and said, "Oh, hey, come in this house. We'll get you some food." He's like, "Okay." So the monk sat down in the house, and the older brother's like, there's no food here. What are we gonna do? But at that moment, he saw a pig running around underneath the house. So he just took a knife and killed the pig. He cooked the pig up and served it to his brother, the monk. The monk didn't know what it was, so he put it in the bowl, and before monks eat, we like to contemplate the food. So he touches the bowl, he looks into the bowl, he contemplates with his mindfulness the food, and his powers told him, "You can't eat this food." And he saw the power of karma right away. And he said to his brother, "We can't eat this food. I can't eat this food. You can't eat this food." And the brother's like, "Why? You don't want my food? My food is not good enough?" He's like, "No, this is our father." He's like, "What do you mean?" "This is our father who was reborn as a pig." And the brother's like, "Oh my God, what are you talking about? You're being so silly." He's like, "No, our father was reborn as a pig. And if you don't believe me, go cut open the tummy of the pig, and inside you will see a snake. That is our mother. Inside the tummy of a snake, you will see our sister, who is a little frog." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Go look." So the brother went inside the house and cut open the tummy of the dead pig, looked inside, and he saw a snake. Then he cut open the tummy of the snake, and inside he saw a frog, just like his monk brother said. So he came back and was like, "Brother, how did you know? Like, how did you know?" He's like, "Let me explain to you the power of karma. Because the father was so obsessed with farming, he was reborn as a pig and spent all his day running around the house, running around the farm, being busy all the time. Because our mom was busy trying to take care of the garden, she was born as a snake and just stayed in the garden all day long. And because our sister was obsessed with her beauty, loved to go to the pond to see the lotus flowers all the time, well, she was reborn as a frog and lived in that pond." That's the power of karma. When your heart is attached to something and you die and you don't have enough good karma, you get reborn there. But also because of the power of karma, when they got reborn, they didn't remember who they used to be. And so one day, the frog came back to the house and the snake was there. So the snake saw the frog she didn't know that that was her old daughter. So the mother, who was reborn as a snake, ate the daughter. And then the snake's laying there, oh, I'm so full, I'm so full. After eating her own daughter, the pig saw it, ate the snake, not knowing that that was his wife that he loved so much and his daughter. Because we are being reborn, we don't remember, and we can do bad karma. Once the older brother learned this, he was so sad that like karma, this rebirth and coming back to this world, like it sucks. We don't remember things, and then we do all these bad things, and then we get bad results. And he was very shocked. And then his brother taught him, if you don't want to be reborn, if you don't want to have bad results, you have to practice. You have to train hard to maybe try to become enlightened, or at least don't do evil. That way you can have good rebirths and not live in the life of an animal. Do you guys know what the good rebirths are and the bad ones are? After people die, depending if you're a good person or a bad person, the good people have options. Either you're reborn as a human again, or you're going to be reborn as an angel and come back to be a human. This is the upper cycles. But for the people who do bad, you can be reborn as a human who's sick, a human who's handicapped or injured. You can be reborn as an animal. You can be reborn in hell. So it depends on how good you are. If you're a good person, you get the higher rebirths. If you're a bad person, you get the lower rebirths. It all comes back to if you're a good person or you're a bad person. So to be a good person, what do you have to do? You have to say good things, do good things, and think good things. Bad people say bad things, do bad things, and think bad things. Do you understand? So if you want to have a good future, focus on the good, right? Satu?